Hey guys, welcome to another video. I'm back in the Tesla today. I do apologise for the weather. It's been absolutely awful in the UK for the past week, although that's, it's probably got nothing on the US right now. Now, everyone knows that the Tesla Model S is an absolute tech fest with everything that it can do. Right down to the autopilot or the driver assist, the fact that you can actually go, it's got quite a good range on it. You can go longer than 500 yards without running out of juice. But there's not too much about how the car actually drives, and as a racing driver, I'm interested in the driving part. On the face of it, this car in theory should be awful to drive. It's absolutely massive. It weighs more than 2 tons. So you're looking at the 7 Series, Mercedes S-Class, Bentley Continental, that kind of category in terms of size and weight. And those cars, roll around, lots of body roll, no steering feel. They're generally, they're luxury saloons that it's not really about the driving anyway. Now, there are some pretty key reasons as to why this car actually isn't crap to drive, and it's very surprising. When I first jumped into the car, I did expect it to be very numb and just a bit boring to drive, but you know what, that is not the case. The biggest reason is that there's no engine in this front rear anywhere. What you have instead is a hefty number of batteries. I think you're talking somewhere in the region of 6,000 odd lithium ion cells, and that weighs, all those together weigh around 400-500 kilograms. Half a ton, that's quite a significant piece of weight. The clever thing is, all that weight, it's not like a big block. It's actually spread very close to the ground, all in the center. It's actually, they're all here. And what that means is you get a very low center of gravity, and if I'm correct, it shares the same center of gravity as a Lotus Elise, and that's like a thoroughbred sports car. What that means is you get literally no body roll when you go around corners, around bends, and the direction change is actually pretty good. Now, the steering, as standard, it's actually quite light. Now, there is an option on this massive control screen to actually change the steering to a more sporty setting, which basically makes it a bit heavier, and there's slightly more feel, although it's probably artificial, but it's the setting that we just leave the car on, basically. The last time this car was probably set to the normal light steering was probably the day it was bought. Ever since, it stays on the sport setting. It's not overly heavy or anything like that, it's just about right. We're going down a hill, and I'm going to just throw it left. For such a big car, it's actually surprising just how good it is. Now, the second reason as to why this car is actually good to drive is the fact that, actually, there's no engine, it's an electric motor, and with that, all the power, all the torque arrives instantly. That's something it's impossible to get in a combustion engine. Doesn't matter what it is, it's physically impossible to get all the torque and all the power to arrive at literally 0 RPM. So what that means, say you are on some nice twisty roads or something like that, you put your foot down, it's instantly there. And it's that type of acceleration, you can only get that. There's no real way to explain it. You've got to really, whilst I'm being blinded, you've got to really experience it. You need to be inside an electric car of some sort, that's got a fair bit of performance, and it's unlike anything you'll have driven before. It's definitely unlike anything I've driven myself personally. That instant torque, coupled with the fact that the car's actually quite nice around corners, straight away, you've got a good driving experience on your hands. The third reason is, it's probably half a reason kind of thing. It's as a result of being an electric car and having an electric motor. There's no transmission in this. There are no gears. And what that means is you're never fumbling around for the right gear. You're always in that right gear. So it doesn't matter whether you're kind of joining a motorway, or again you're on some nice roads. It kind of takes away the hassle of thinking about what gear you need to be in, or if you have like an automatic gearbox. Automatic gearboxes is generally, they can never change gear as quick as when you want them to, unless you're in a full-on Ferrari with a really good double clutch gearbox. Definitely in my CLA 45, I'm waiting around for gears, and it's so bad in the full auto mode that I always use the paddles. But when you take that away, you don't really need to think about the gears, and then you can just again focus on the driving. And because of reasons 1 and 2, overall the driving experience is surprisingly good. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna say it's, this feels like a thoroughbred sports car, Porsche Cayman. It's really not. But for such a big car, like I said, it's well over 2 tons. It defies physics almost as to how good it is. The more I drive this car, the more I actually like it in terms of the actual driving experience. We've had a Maserati Ghibli in the family before this, and it had its good and bad points, whereas in this it leans more towards the good. The Maserati was sometimes cumbersome to drive, at low speed and around town. It was a bit annoying, whereas this car, it doesn't actually feel as big as it is, if that makes sense. And again, it's just that acceleration, you really need to get yourself inside one of these or something. It's insane. And it's effortless. You don't need to think about it. You don't need to think, right, what gear am I in beforehand. It makes things like quickly overtaking on the motorway just totally effortless. It's crazy where electric technology is taking us, and Tesla have really nailed it on the head with this one. I know the Model S is actually really expensive to buy to begin with. It's that upfront cost, and then after that it just makes so much sense. However, we've got the Model 3 that's now here, which it's going to share most of the tech here. You're going to have a lot of the performance, the drivability of the Model S in the Model 3. In fact, if anything, in the Model 3 will probably be better because it's a smaller car. It'll weigh less. And Tesla have got another one. I think it's the Model Y that's going to be released soon. I think that's just a smaller version of the Model X. So there's some really exciting stuff coming out of the Tesla HQ. Fairly quick video, guys. Hope you found it interesting. I know a lot of you are interested in the Tesla. I know I don't do too much with this Model S. I'm going to try and do a bit more in the future. This car will be 1 year old soon with us. So the same way I did like a 1 year's running costs of my CLA 45, I'll do something similar for this, although you know what, it's going to be a very short video. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to hit the like button down below, make sure to subscribe for future content, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye.